Welcome back to the channel, everyone. On today's episode, we are going to be reacting to the Detroit Pistons selecting Chaz Lanier at pick 37. So after much discussion and thinking that the Pistons would potentially trade up into the first round, potentially trade up even earlier in the second round, they kept their pick and they have selected what I believe, and from what I've researched, one of the best shooters in the 2025 NBA draft, Chaz Lanier out of Tennessee. I believe he played 5 years in college, 4 years with North Florida, I believe, and then this fifth year with Tennessee. Like I said, Chaz is, I think he's 6'4", 6'9" wingspan, 23, 24 years old. So he's already coming in as an established player, and everything I look up about him, it starts with the shooting. This past season, he averaged 18 points. He attempted 8 threes and shot 40% on those threes. Just an elite shooting prospect off the catch. I think he shot 36, 37% on dribble pull up threes. Can shoot off movement. And I'll bring up some clips here on the side. But a decent athlete, certainly not someone who's going to like create off the dribble or wow you with shot creation in that way. But I mean, at pick 37, I think one thing you're always looking for is a player that has one elite skill that can translate to the NBA. And for Chaz, it's definitely the 3-point shooting. Um, as I said, just an excellent shooter. I have some numbers here. He shot 41% on catch and shoot threes, 43% on open catch and shoot threes, 38% on guarded catch and shoot threes. So when there's a defender within 6 feet of him, and then he shot 36% off the dribble on threes. So all really elite numbers, especially at the college level. Across all 5 seasons in college, he shot 40% from three. So, you know, we talk about shooting all the time. Obviously, Trajan prioritized this last offseason, went and got Tim Hardaway Jr., Malik Beasley. And we saw what that kind of did for the team and for Cade Cunningham and the other young players. And Trajan even said in his press conference following the draft that you can never have too many shooters. And look, as you can see here, I think he can do a little bit off the bounce, attacking off closeouts, shot fake, dribble pull up in the mid range. I think he was a decent mid range shooter as well. So I'm not sure. In terms of like what fans can expect from Linear next season, I wouldn't expect much of a role. Think back to Bobby Clintman last season, who was played a lot of his minutes in the Motor City Cruise. I wouldn't expect Lanier to be a part of the rotation or anything. But unlike Bobby, he is 24. He's a lot more established. So there might be some more NBA minutes there for him. Bobby is a little bit more of a project as a younger player and someone who still needs to fill out. So there may be some NBA minutes there for Chaz, but I don't think anyone should be expecting him to come in and be a part of the 9 or 10 man rotation next season, even as good of a shooter as he is. We had Dennis Jenkins last season, who was a very established scorer. Definitely not the kind of shooter that Chaz is, but he still played a lot of his minutes at the Cruise. So I think Trajan even said, he was asked in his press conference, does Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr.'s free agency, did that factor into this pick in getting another shooter in the event that those two leave? And he said, not really. And I believe that. I think, honestly, any player, once it gets past like pick 25 into the second round, you tend to just want to take the best player available. Whether or not you agree Chaz is the best player available is up to you. But he certainly, Trajan said he was the best player on their board at 37. If he was there, they were going to take him. He also did note, Trajan, that they did try to look to trade him to the first round, but it was just too expensive uh, in the sense of teams were asking for too much to trade up. So I guess that's good to know that, unlike what we saw from the Pelicans and Troy Weaver yesterday, Trajan values his future assets and didn't want to give up a boatload just to try get into the back end of the first round. But back to Linear, I think, as our GM said, can never have too much shooting. I think Lanier, even going back a few weeks ago when we first started talking about the draft, he was always a top three shooting prospect in the class, just in terms of efficiency and diversity in the types of shots he can make. For him, it's going to be about what else can he bring to the table as an NBA player. He has decent size and athleticism to be a solid defender. I think he's yet to prove that so far, that he can be a true 3-and-D guy at the NBA level. I think if he had proved that, he would go a lot higher in the draft. So I think from day one, it'll be trying to improve the defender positioning, that kind of thing on the ball and off the ball. Um, because I think if you can improve there, you have the shooting, you have the size, and then everything else is a bonus if you can figure out how to defend at an NBA level. So, really excited to watch him at Summer League. Summer League begins July 10th. So, I think pretty much 2 weeks from today. And we'll have Chaz, we'll have Bobby Clintman there, we'll have Ron Holland. Uh, Trajan said Bobby and Ron will both be playing at the Summer League. So, there's 3 contracted Pistons players we'll be able to see, plus I assume some of the two-way players, Ron Harper Jr., Dennis Jenkins, and Tolu Smith. That I think all those guys will be playing as well. So we don't have a first round pick this draft, but I think we should get to see Ron for at least a couple of games. Ron actually quote tweeted one of my tweets about him at Summer League, so I'm sure Ron's going to be excited to get out there and try to score 30 or 40 points. Um, and show that he's a level above. But it'll be fun to watch them at the Summer League. And yeah, I'm excited to watch Chaz play. I think there's certainly always space for shooters, and if he can come in and figure out the defensive side of the ball, then he's going to be a player that Detroit could work into their rotation, and he can fill in spot minutes and the like as a rookie. So excited to see what he can bring to the table. Can't wait for Summer League. I know we're all missing Pistons hoops, so excited to watch Chaz at the Summer League. But that's going to do it for today's show. Welcome to the Pistons, Chaz Lanier. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm sure there was some other players people liked at 37 ahead of Chaz, but let me know your thoughts on the pick, the draft overall, and just how you're feeling about the Pistons. But until next time, as always, go Pistons.